Hey everyone, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL. If you're new to IFYL, you will see a QR code at the top right of your screen. Just take your phone, point to that QR code. That'll bounce you over to my link tree with lots of great information to improve the quality of your life. If you have any problems getting there, just type in Believe, Believe, me, M-E, Achieve, ACHIEVE.com. You'll see John's Daily National Day video, JCM Academy TikTok, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, inspirations for your life, which is this show, Jason Academy business coaching, Envision networking, science fries with John, how to network, and so much more that I can't possibly go into that. All right. If you're coming back, welcome back, my friends, colleagues, and wonderful associates. Thank you for joining me today on this wonderful Sunday, September 25th for IFYL. We'll talk about the topic in just one second, but you know that every Saturday we start on a new master topic and we roll all the way through the week on Friday. All right. So what is that master topic? And I hope many of you will become loyal, like a lot of the people that have been watching me for so long. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. How to break that habit. All right. So when we talk about breaking a habit, it's oftentimes harder to break a habit than it is to create a new one. Well, creating a new one out of scratch, that is. If you break a habit, well, that's fine, right? However, if you try to break a habit and it just doesn't go anywhere, well, then that could be a slight problem, right? Problem for you, problem for your life. And so we have to remember that habits form with ourselves, sometimes being consciously aware or not consciously aware. What do you mean, John? Well, so habits can form whether we know about them or whether we don't know about them. That is really, really key. And so if you can appreciate that, then you'll understand a little more about habits. So let's dive in a little deeper, shall we? How to break, I'll call it a bad habit, is what I want to entitle this. So if there's a tempting situation, get rid of that tempting situation, right? That's the first thing. If there's a behavior that's not good, figure out what you can substitute or replace it with so that you have something else to do, right? For example, ball players for a long time would always be smoking. So what they do, they gave them chewing tobacco. Now they got rid of chewing tobacco. Now they give them double bubble gum and to try to help them with their challenge, right? So they just pop something in their mouth. They're still chewing and they feel really good about it. However, thinking about breaking a habit is actually not as bad as you would think, okay? Write down on paper, what is it that you're trying to change, okay? A lot of times people, when they think of a habit, they feel there's no way to undo the habit, but you have to realize that people are just scared. And the reason that they're not achieving their goal to change the habit or remove the habit is because everything in their environment is pointing to something that is just going to lead them to more challenges. That's right, more challenges in their life. So habits. So you might be asking me, John, where, good question, did the word habit come from? Well, the word habit is pulled from the Latin word habere, Habere, which to quote means have, consist of, and habitus, which means condition or state of being. It's also derived from the French word pronounced habit, which means clothes. In the 13th century, the word habit was first referred to clothing. So it's been around for a long time, right? But when we think about habit, and I'm talking about habit as not meaning a piece of clothing, but as a mannerism in life, right? And habit is spelled Habit. And it refers to the repetition of an unconscious pattern of behavior. In simple, a habit can be explained as an act that somebody is used to doing quite frequently that they don't even have to think about doing anymore. But it doesn't mean that a habit will form from just unconscious thoughts. It can form from conscious thoughts too. It's just that the act of carrying out the behavior happens unconsciously. That means you're not aware of what's going on. Let's talk about some type of maybe habit you want to break. So maybe you have a bad habit that every night you get up and you always want to raid your refrigerator to get something to eat. maybe in the middle of the night. Not a good habit. So maybe something better to do would be to get up in the middle of the night. And if there is food in the fridge, well, thinking about maybe having a glass of water, or maybe just thinking about having a spoonful of peanut butter, right? If you're going to have something, at least have something that's going to curb you, because maybe it is a little bit psychological, but it can also be chemical. So by you having some food in you and changing the level in your brain with the dopamine, it's actually going to cause you to become satisfied or fulfilled. And when you're fulfilled, you're not going to want to carry out behaviors to enact the habit that you have been so badly doing all the time. All right. So when we think about habit, okay, a habit will start to build when you do things over and over and over again until they become second nature. Second nature meaning that they're on autopilot, that you're not even thinking about them, and they're really shaping your life. 95% of your body runs your subconscious. Did you know that? 95% of your mind, I should say, runs your body. So 95% of our brain's activity is unconscious, meaning that the majority of the decisions we make, the actions we take, are emotions and behaviors. And it depends on that 95% of brain activity that lies beyond the conscious awareness. So your subconscious mind creates 95% of your life. But most people don't spend time to understand what the subconscious is. Now, we're not going to get deep into that on this show. But the subconscious is what you're not aware of, right? Maybe people have said things to you. It could be anything about your personality. It could be about your physical appearance. And what happens is you start to accept these beliefs because they're happening on a subconscious level. So when someone says something to you like, you're not good at that, or you're never going to do that, you can say to yourself, cancel, cancel. I understand how you feel based on what you're seeing. And I know that I'll achieve these goals, whether you think I will or not. You see, it's important that you immediately diffuse and negate the statement that they made immediately. It could be something as simple as cancel, cancel. And by you doing that, it's going to get your body to say, okay, I'm not paying any mind to that. You see, no one has the right to make you feel inferior about yourself, except for who? You. You're the only one that can make you feel inferior about yourself. So why are you making yourself feel inferior about what someone else says or does? There's no reason for it. Your brain is extremely powerful, right? There's something called the 95-5% rule. Did you know that your subconscious mind is responsible for 95% of your processing power beyond your conscious awareness? That means 5% for your conscious and critical thinking on a daily basis. Wow. So 95% of my brain activity runs my life, but I'm not even aware of it. And 5%, only 5% is being reserved for conscious and critical thinking. Wow. So that means in order to access your subconscious mind, which by the way is very possible, you have to find a way to get around your consciousness or your critical thinking, even judgmental thinking. And so we could talk about different rays. I'm not going to get deep in this, which is the gamma waves, which is basically greater than 40 hertz. Beta waves, 13 to 39 hertz. 7 to 13 hertz is alpha waves. 4 to 7 hertz is theta waves. And less than 4 hertz is delta waves. So logical thinking, willpower, short-term memory, and critical thinking all reside above the surface. Let's think of an iceberg. They're all that tip of the iceberg, right? Everything below the iceberg that you don't see. That's your beliefs, your emotions, your LTM, long term memory, your values, your protective reactions, your intuition, your imagination, your fears, controls of your entire body and its systems, and your self image is all managed by, yes, ladies and gentlemen, 95% of the brain, which is the subconscious. Your subconscious mind is subjective. It does not think or reason independently. It just obeys commands that it receives from your conscious mind. But your conscious mind is objective and it has no memory, only holding one thought at a time. We'll talk about the myth, which we would say the multitasking another time, which is really kind of a myth because you see that your subconscious mind is very, how can I say, responsive to listening. It doesn't question things. It just carries out the orders. Does this every single day and night on your behalf. And it makes your behavior fit the patterns consistent with what has been stored in your emotional brain. Not limited to your habits of thinking, your acting, how comfortable you are right now or how uncomfortable you are. Now, this might seem a little clever, and it is. There's something called the amygdala, and it's your ancient reptilian brain, and it's in charge of keeping you safe. The thing about the amygdala is it's very, so I call it the your reaction brain, okay? And so when we think about the reaction brain, right, it's designed to keep us safe in life. The reticular activating system, the RAS. That's our amygdala, Amygdala. But the challenge is you have to realize that your amygdala should not steer you into a closet, into a corner, and put you into fear. Because if it does, you're never going to be able to unpack all the great fortune that life has in store for you. Let's talk about a few things that are habits in your life. All right, this might make this a little easier. So you might have a habit, as we said, to brush your teeth after you finish breakfast or dinner, or what have you. After you take a shower, you have a habit, obviously, to groom yourself and then get dressed. These are habits. You don't even think about them. Another habit might be when you get in the car to immediately, I hope, put on your seatbelt without even thinking. When you have delicious food on your plate, and the first thing you would do is you smell it and you eat it. So that's a natural habit to eat that food, right? So a habit is basically a social defined concept that is not objectively correct or incorrect. And it can be judged according to usefulness for predicting, explaining, and changing behaviors. The problem with most people is that when they build a habit and they don't like the habit, they feel that they're imprisoned, that they can't change, but they can. You see, this whole week is dedicated to helping you understand that you can replace bad habits with good, and you can get rid of bad habits in your life. Maybe you have a bad habit of staying up late. And you know that when you stay up late, the next morning you're like worthless because you didn't get any sleep. So, of course, you can go for the premise that, it's not working for me, but that might not work for your brain. So what you'll have to do is say, okay, I tried that. It didn't work. Now what I need to do is figure out how can I make my body do what I need to do, which is I need to wake up refreshed and able to do my work, but I need to go to bed at a more reasonable hour time. So you can make a commitment to do this. You can set rewards that'll help you do this. But when you're going to bed late and you're not getting up very well or with not a lot of energy, The way you could change that energy is by saying to yourself, I go to bed early and I get up with plenty of energy. And you see, when you repeat a mantra, when you repeat a statement, your body becomes in alignment with that statement. And when that becomes a regular thing, that's already a habit. And that habit's going to cause you to take certain steps or actions. Remember when we talked about the person that was always reading the refrigerator at night, right? They have to take the action to get out of bed. They have to take the action to go to the fridge, open the fridge, look at what they're going to get, open the package, right? So they have to take several physical steps. If you're conscious of all these steps, you can actually short circuit the behavior from happening. But all you need to do is something really simple, and that's just become conscious of your behavior. So what could you do? You could write it down. I just went to the refrigerator. Oh, I'm going to the refrigerator. Oh, I shouldn't be doing that. So it will take a little practice, and I have more tips for you guys as we roll into the week. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you again this wonderful day. I hope you'll love, and support my channel. Also, comment below about what does it mean to get rid of a habit in your life? What habits do you want to get rid of? Tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And then be sure to go to my YouTube channel, John Space E Space M-O-R-L-E, Y Space Serial Entrepreneur. And look for that key phrase, help keep our content free. Make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a savory, delicious vanilla and chocolate cone, a nice icy cold pop, or perhaps a slice of refreshing watermelon. Either way, we'll be grateful for those pennies and dollars. We'll invest it into hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, motivational content to give you the fuel to empower your life to change. That's right. To give you the choice to have a better life. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another great tip and another episode of how to break that habit. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.